Good deeds must be done in a good way. Geronda, how do you think when you have to deal with a problem? I think of what is humanly possible and what isn't. I examine it from all perspectives. I will do this. What consequences will it bear on this, on that? What good can it bring or what harm can it cause? I always try to see a problem from many aspects, so the solution I come up with will be, as far as possible, the correct one. Many mistakes can be made if one is not careful. If one realizes afterwards what should have been done, it is of no benefit, because as people say, the bird has flown. Let us say, for example, someone has been careless and burned a house. Well, perhaps no one will hang the man, but the damage has been done. People had a problem somewhere. The person in charge came to me and said, "Well, now the problem is solved. I went and found so and so. I told him this and that, and the matter is now settled." I said to him, "The problem has just started. What you had in your hands was not a problem. Now the fire is really burning. At first there were just 2 pieces of coal burning that would have burned out by themselves." That person thought that through his actions, the problem had been solved and even expected to be praised. Whereas with what he did, he created a big fuss and magnified the problem. It takes a lot of attention, prudence, and discernment, because good must be done well and be of benefit to others. Otherwise, it may demonize them. Also, if there's something that you are thinking of doing, allow the thought to mature before doing it. If you act prematurely, in haste, you may later have other problems to torment you. The serious issues, when delayed a little, will later proceed properly and efficiently. Someone may be clever, but he may have vainglory and egoism. Negative qualities that run ahead of his actions lead to carelessness. For example, a hunting dog, even if not purebred, will find the rabbit if it advances carefully. On the other hand, a purebred dog, with all the necessary qualities, if too hasty, will run left and right without any results. Action before thought contains pride. One must not be in a hurry to act. One must first think and pray before acting. Where prayer comes first, then it is not at the front of the mind. It's frivolity, but the sanctified mind that will guide the process. Spiritual people sometimes act as if there were no God. We do not allow God to act. God knows how to work, while there are spiritual means to solve difficult circumstances. We try to act by worldly means. When I was at Mount Sinai, every Friday a Muslim cleric would go up to the minaret of a mosque at the monastery and cry out the call to prayer. And what a loud voice he had. I could hear him all the way up to the hermitage of Saint Episteme. Later, the monastery found a way to prevent this by closing the door on Fridays, when the Muslim cleric would make his visit, but I knew nothing about this. One day, on my way out, I saw the Hodja furious. "Now I will show them," he told me, "for closing the door and not letting me in." "They closed it," I told him, "so the camels will not get in. I don't believe they closed it to keep you out." After that I said something to the fathers about this. One of the secretaries replied, "I'll show that Muslim cleric. I'll set him up. I will tell the government that a Muslim cleric is harassing us." "Look here," I said. "Orthodoxy is not into setups. Let us keep a vigil, let us chant the service of the Holy Fathers of Sinai, of Saint Catherine, and let us allow God to speak. I will also go up to pray." I also told a few of the fathers to pray, so that in the end the Muslim cleric received an effective slap in the face. He got up, left the area and disappeared. For even if they had locked the door, the government would have seen that a cleric was not in fact harassing them, and they would be in trouble with the authorities. The cleric would have said that they closed the door to prevent him from entering the monastery each Friday, and this would have created a problem for the monastery. Another person in the past saw the awesome mountain and wanted to build a country home on the summit of St. Catherine. He fell ill, died, and was gone. Then another person came later to build something at the same place, but he too died and is gone. This is why we should not rely only on our own human efforts. We should pray and allow God to act.